It sucks. Losing certain friends, all of a sudden those people just are nowhere to be found. And it's like when they were at their lowest, I was there. And it's just so hard. It's so lonely. And I know that it's a good thing.
We have a lot to cover. Hey everyone, I'm Abbey Sharp. Welcome back to Abby's Kitchen. Today we're going to be checking back on our friend Jaclyn following one of her latest Jaclyn journey updates called My Current Struggles. If you have not already watched my video on how sobriety has improved Jaclyn's mental health and supported her weight loss goals, definitely check that out. I will link it below. But ultimately, as the name implies, this is a journey. And the road to sobriety and to weight loss are just never going to be a straight line. So please, just a quick reminder to be kind, both to myself and to Jaclyn in the comments. We really want to keep this a supportive space. And before we get into it, I have some huge things in the works that my newsletter subscribers are going to get access to first. So definitely hit up the description for links to get exclusive access. Okay, hopping in here super quick to tell you about today's sponsor, LMNT. So I feel like a lot of people overlook all of the unique, important roles of electrolytes in the body, from regulating nerve impulses and hormones and nutrient absorption and fluid balance, etc. And obviously they can be particularly important for folks who train really heavy or play sports, especially in warmer areas. I've always been a huge fan of LMNT because it has a science-backed electrolyte ratio of 1,000 milligrams sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, and 60 milligrams magnesium. Plus, it has no colors, sugar, or fillers. They're also a big fan favorite amongst a lot of my RD colleagues who work with professional athletes. So they have the new LMNT sparkling cans, which are perfect for throwing in my bag for like a road trip or playing tennis, plus the classic stick powders, which are just so convenient for toting around or flying. So you can get yours at drinkelement.com/Abbey Sharp, and make sure to check out the drink mixes and their 16-ounce sparkling electrolyte cans. And don't forget that you can get a free LMNT sample pack with any purchase using my link. So you definitely want to go to drinklmnt.com/Abbey Sharp to learn more. All right, let's get into it.
Watching someone just live a good, happy life is not entertainment. We need to see the struggles.
Yeah. This is honestly what I kind of hate about being a content creator. And I know that you guys love to feel part of our everyday lives, and that's ultimately what helps grow community. But there is a reason why so many lifestyle content creators burn out. And I know for myself, I've had to really create boundaries to kind of keep some important parts of my life private, mostly my family. So I just really hope that Jaclyn knows that while we love her personal updates, we love following everything she does, and I'm sure that they help a lot of people, we will support her if and when she decides that she wants to hold some things back.
My current struggle is sugar. When I cut out alcohol, I replaced alcohol with sugar. I have such a raging sweet tooth because I gave into it.
So sugar is a really common addiction transfer from alcohol, likely because both substances activate similar reward systems in the brain. So when we quit drinking, the brain basically seeks out other sources of dopamine to compensate. And obviously sugar is just a pretty convenient source. And honestly, I don't think she should feel shame for this. If you actually look at Alcoholics Anonymous recommendations, they often suggest consuming sweets as an effective substitute for alcohol, especially if you are moving through some of those withdrawal symptoms. So I do hope that Jaclyn can give herself some grace here as she works through her abstinence journey. She doesn't have a raging sweet tooth because she gave into it. This is actually just a normal response to quitting a very addictive substance, and sugar will always be the lesser evil.
I did cut out artificial sugar there for a while, for 2 weeks. Right now, I don't want to cut it out. I've cut out coffee, not just for my own reasons, that's for my gut because it was affecting me. It was making me really tired. It was making me crash really hard. I cut out sodas. I switched to Coke Zero. Then I basically cut out Coke Zero. It does not have great ingredients in it. It's not good for you.
Listen, I am not an artificial sugar pusher, and I actually personally don't consume aspartame or Splenda myself because they just don't feel good to my body. But I am so glad that Jaclyn was like, nope, I don't want to cut all of these things out right now. Every single diet change that you make to achieve a goal comes with its own risk-benefit analysis. And it sounds like, she had sound reasons why coffee or full sugar soda and then Coke Zero were all not supporting her goals or helping her feel her best. But completely swearing off all artificial sweeteners would potentially be taking it too far, and the risk of binging or relapsing because of overt restriction would very much likely not outweigh the benefit.
I love Alanis. I use them as pre-workouts, but I am noticing that I have a crash afterwards. I feel so good on top of the world and then I crash. So now I'm on the train of trying to replace this with this. And today is the first day that I drank a whole one of these and I feel amazing. I'm not gonna drink an Alani today. Now hear me out, I'm not gonna totally cut this out. I just won't. I love my Alanis, but I'm also not trying to be drinking it every single day of my life. One thing at a time.
I love that she found something that works for her. And I also love, again, that we're not cutting out all the foods we love. I also took a peek at this product, Gorgie, compared to Alani Nu. And yeah, I'm not really surprised that it was a less aggressive caffeine experience. Gorgie has 150 milligrams of caffeine, whereas Alani Nu has 200 milligrams of caffeine. Plus, Alani Nu also has other stimulants and adaptogens like taurine, L-carnitine L-tartrate, ginseng root, and guarana seed extract. Plus, they both contain L-theanine, which basically works synergistically with caffeine to provide a more sustained and steady energy and focus boost without the aggressive crash. That said, we ultimately don't know how much is in either of these or if either of them have anywhere near a clinical dose. All that is to say that I'm glad she found something that works for her.
I need to just get better about eating certain sugars over others. There's a major difference between these two things right here, okay? Way lower in sugar, and it's used with things like cane sugar. I'm just very much trying to improve myself.
I know you guys love when I compare junk foods to their health haloed counterparts. And even though Oreos to peanut butter cups is a bit like comparing apples to oranges in my opinion, let's take a look-see, shall we? Okay, so in one corner we have Unreal dark chocolate peanut butter cups. If we were to go with 2 peanut butter cups, we've got 10 grams of sugar, 2 grams each of fiber and protein, 12 grams of fat, and 160 calories. And the ingredients are pretty much a combination of dark chocolate, cane sugar, cocoa butter, palm oil, and peanut flour. For the 2 Oreos, we're looking at 13 grams of sugar, less than a gram each of fiber and protein, 7 grams of fat, and 140 calories. Obviously, the ingredients are different. We've got sugar, flour, high fructose corn syrup, cocoa, and some food dyes. So sure, the Unreal cups have a slight edge in the ingredient department, and I would personally choose these because I'm sensitive to food dyes, but we're talking comparable macros and calories across the board. So it's not only choosing one over the other is going to make any kind of remarkable difference for weight management or skin appearance, etc. So yeah, I would choose the one that brings you the most joy and eat it in moderation. Ideally as part of a hunger crushing combo with fiber, protein, and healthy fats to help stabilize the blood sugar response, because that we know is really important for skin health.
I worked in therapy for years on certain friendships that I felt were very one-sided, and it's I was giving at people's lowest point. All of a sudden those people just are nowhere to be found. Anyways, bettering yourself and protecting your peace is not always easy. Sometimes it looks like this.
I feel like Jaclyn has really grown in her mindset since, I started covering her journey. And I am just so proud of her for how far she's come. Whereas in the past, the echoing narrative seemed to revolve around failing and self-loathing and punishing herself for messing up. What I have heard multiple times already is this overwhelming commitment to self-care and to herself. And honestly, I can also really identify with this feeling that she's always the one who's working in the relationship. She's always the one doing the work. The less others do, the harder she tries. This is classic type A people-pleasing behavior that I know all too well. So this journey has probably been particularly hard for her because for the first time, she's putting herself first and saying, no, I am worth this. I deserve enough respect to do this for me. I'm gonna put my life jacket on first and see who sticks around. And that is so hard to do when you are used to carrying everyone on your back. But I'm feeling like extra mama bear here. I'm just so proud of this monumental step for her.
Me and Jordan both got really sick. We both had the flu, influenza A. It was terrible. We both thought we were gonna die at one point. During that time, I didn't take care of myself. I didn't work out. I didn't sit in the sauna. I literally just drank chicken broth and ordered soup. Now I'm better, right? Like I'm not sick anymore, but here my ass is still not working out, still eating like crap, and I've gained weight back. I feel like right now in this moment, eating healthy sounds like a punishment, right? Because I'm so used to eating like crap the past couple of weeks. But once I get myself in the routine, I miss this so much.
So this is actually pretty common when you start on a wellness journey. You know, it's like things are going smoothly. You've maybe established some new habits. You're feeling really great. And then boom, you get sick, or your kids get sick, or you get hit with some like massive project at work. And it doesn't take a whole lot to just like derail us from our freshly pressed routine. But I want you guys to know that that is okay and it's normal. Like sometimes the healthiest thing that you can choose for yourself is rest. So if you're currently sick, or your diet looks beige, or your only workouts are like movie marathons, I want to just remind you to just give yourself some grace. And honestly, sometimes that short little break from normal programming can be a really good reminder of how your regular routine makes you feel, how good you feel when you're really in it. Like last spring, I got some kind of flu and the nausea lasted like 2 whole weeks. And honestly, all I could eat was bread and rice, and I could not touch a damn vegetable. But the day I woke up feeling better, I was like, I could crush a big ass salad right now. And it's these opportunities that help us collect objective data on how foods actually make us feel without any kind of guilt or shame.
And more than anything, you guys, like the first 10 minutes of working out like that is just miserable. I don't want to be there. And then all of a sudden it's like your heart rate gets up, you get into the flow, the endorphins kick in, and all of a sudden you're like, God, it feels so good to be here. And the rest of the night is just gonna be better because I can't work out. It's not the easy choice, but I'm telling you, you start seeing results when you start making the difficult choices. I made a promise to myself that I want to be better, and I'm committed to me.
You know, to a lot of people on their intuitive eating or anti-diet journeys, you might think this sounds like a restrictive, punishing mindset. And honestly, 10 years ago, I would have heard that too. You know, often when we teach the joyful movement principle in intuitive eating, we tell people to find an activity that you actually love. But for a lot of people, the pleasure doesn't actually come without a little bit of discomfort. And through collecting data, you kind of come to realize this. So you choose to continue to engage in that activity as an act of self-care. Because you know that after you get through those first 10 minutes, you're gonna feel amazing. And this can really apply to anything that we do for ourselves that betters our life and brings us joy. Like planning a birthday party for my kid can be stressful and a lot of work, but it is worth it to me when I see the joy it brings. Waking up at 4 a.m. to work on new theory formulation sucks, but it's worth it when I read the amazing reviews. Or like slaving over a 4-hour pasta sauce feels like a slog, but I'm happy I did it when it tastes really amazing and everyone's like, I love this. If everything we wanted in life was easy and required no motivation or work, it probably wouldn't give us the same sense of self-satisfaction when we actually do it in the end.
This is definitely a trigger for me. I will want to drink tonight. Although I will wish in the moment, I'll be like, oh God, I could use a drink because I'm gonna feel overwhelmed and extremely stimulated. I don't actually want to drink because I have bigger goals. That does not involve alcohol. That's a milestone for me. That was my first concert that I went to without drinking. I will be honest, that was not easy.
This is amazing. I'm really sure that it probably was quite hard for her to come to this. But again, it really reminds me that there seems to be these like two polarizing camps when it comes to wellness messaging right now. There's the no pain, no gain, you might hate your life, but just do it anyway attitude. And there's this other extreme where the sentiment seems to be that you should always indulge yourself, always eat and drink whatever you want, never say no, live your best life, etc. Living in the gray doesn't feel sexy. It doesn't make for a great motivational speech or hook, but it is actually the secret to good health. And it's really the only way to get in tune with your body's true needs. It's the difference between setting boundaries or guidelines that are constantly evaluated and reset based on context, time, place, how you feel on any particular day, versus setting these hard, impermeable restrictions with no ongoing appraisal for how they are actually serving you. And I think Jaclyn has really figured that balance of knowing that the choice may be hard in the moment, but the intention is to bring her more freedom, vitality, and opportunity long-term. So yeah, I love this so much for her, and I am rooting for her as she continues on her journey, finding what feels good to her body and what does not. And on that note, that is all that I have for you guys today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below on what you'd like to see me talk about next, and I'll see you next time on Abby's Kitchen. Bye!